was that Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryan stated that when he took over New Birth in Atlanta, he tried to, because he's coming from a smaller market, Baltimore. He left Empowerment Temple in Baltimore, and he came to New Birth in Atlanta. And he said that he was trying, because he had had his own struggles, and he said he didn't want the Atlanta Journal-Constitution to get a hold of any of his struggles. And he said that as best as he tried to get them to do deep sweeps on the web, how, they call it integrity, or basically giving you a wash on the web, trying to get rid of all the negatives and make you look good in the marketplace. Well, he said that he hired two firms to improve his image online. And he said both companies folded while he was doing it. And so he's sitting there just waiting on the Atlanta Journal-Constitution to come and eat his lunch, because first of all, you're taking over the church for Bishop Eddie Long. That's a challenge. And then secondly, he had his own challenges. And then he said something one night late. He said something, and man, it just really hit me, because some people always want to link your past. He talked about Joseph. He said Joseph went to jail for over Potiphar's wife's accusations. He said Joseph was never exonerated. He was. I mean, nowhere in Scripture do you go and find out that Joseph was forgiven. They said Joseph, the charges are dropped. He said after these two firms folded, after trying to keep his background okay. And he said he looked and he said that God told him, if I can do that for Joseph, and Joseph's accusations never were dropped about Potiphar's wife's accusation. But Joseph, by Genesis chapter 50, was the most powerful man in Egypt. As a matter of fact, Genesis chapter 50, Pharaoh said, only in the throne itself will I be greater. So Joseph had all of the most power in that particular day. So that's a word for so many of us who have struggled with things in the past. Sometimes you struggle with bad decisions. Sometimes you struggle with things that you're not proud of. Folks, stop trying to do those deep dives to watch it. It happened. It's there. If they want a deep dive, I mean, they deep dive on a local politician, went back to her Twitter feed, I think, almost tons of years back. And folks, look, that was then, this is now. But that's not what I'm talking about tonight. They kept on talking, and they made a statement. They said that if the church, any church that refuses to make the technological advancements, or black media, he said if both of them and either of them don't change, that they're going to be obsolete in 5 years. And Roland Martin used the example of the Chicago Defender, and he also used the example of the Baltimore Sun. Jamal Brand did. They said they have at least 1 million Facebook friends, but yet they're still trying to make their subscription model work. And tonight I want to talk to SVP and Facebook Live, or whatever social media channel I share this on, about refusing to change. Refusing to change. There just seems to be a state that some of us, there was a book made popular several years back called Who Moved My Cheese? It's about these mice who kept getting their cheese at the same place, the same way, the same time, over and over again. Then all of a sudden someone decided to move the cheese, and that sent them into delirium. And folks, it's like we're being sent into delirium. I mean, this message tonight is not to refute any old guys to step on your toes, to try to be another one of those young bucks putting you down. But folks, if you refuse to change, change is going to be brutal. The retail world refused to change, much of the retail world. And we're seeing every day that the retail world is being decimated. I have a friend, an old childhood friend, he works for UPS, and he said he has a list this long of large retail chains that have gone belly up this year. Look, folks, these things, those cell phones, they're becoming the order of the day. As one of the gurus that I listen to, Gary Vee, he says that the television is the telephone, and the phone is the new TV. I mean, no, he said television is radio, and the cell phone is television. Folks, look, the world is changing. Its modes are changing. And there it is. I thought I didn't have a scriptural context while I was sitting here before you talking about Roland Martin's and Jamal Bryant's conversation, but I was reminded of something the eagle-eyed prophet said in Isaiah 43, verse 18. It says, "Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. For behold," manifestation word, "I will do a new thing." Folks, look, God is the same God on yesterday as he is on today, as he's going to be on tomorrow. While the master stays the same, God may change his method. The sword worked for Joshua, but the rod worked for Moses. For God's not going to allow us to box him in. And folks, when change is on its way, why are we sitting here stomping our feet and growling and howling when change is about to decimate all that has ever been? Folks, I think this cell phone, I looked the other day, and cell phone has destroyed so many industries, industry after industry. And it's becoming, I think that Jamal Bryant, he said this, and it was so powerful. He said that he doesn't care if it's 10 feet of snow in Atlanta, and folks won't come to New Birth. He says he's going to go live. And he says 1/3 of their of what they receive in offerings and tithes comes in online. Folks, we're in a different world. I mean, the little kids, they talking about Cash App, Cash App, Cash App, Cash App. Can you Cash App this? Can you Cash App that? Can you Cash App my mom or something? I mean, they're talking about it, and it's becoming the order of the day. But there's still a remnant that refuses to change. Folks, the world is changing right before our very eyes. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to down you. But I mean, why would you see a current? Why would you see a wave? Why would you see a wind coming that's threatening to decimate everything that you know, but you're holding on to some faith that things are going to stay like what they used to be? Folks, look, everybody's looking for the good old days, and if we would truly be honest, the good old days maybe wasn't as good as what we thought they were. So it's a word. I remember 5-6 years ago, somebody, one of my titles online on Facebook is the Apostle of the Internet. And everybody laughed, dude, the Apostle of the Internet. They laughed and they laughed. They're not laughing anymore. Because I saw something coming then that's manifested now. Folks, you got a whole generation of millennials that won't do anything without that cell phone. They won't go to the toilet without that cell phone. So now we're seeing that the millennials are not as quick to walk into a church setting, that they'll watch online, and folks, there are people that you can argue or you can adjust to the times. You know, I was talking about the funeral industry.